The Time Machine from 1960 still looks gentle on screen, yet its creation carried far more chaos than anyone imagined. Behind the glowing disc and calm scenes lived fire scares, fainting actors, and dangerous effects. These hidden moments and crazy facts shaped the film that made time travel feel real. Fact 1. The machine almost exploded during a test. During one of the earliest technical checks, the electric core under the time machine began to overheat. The wiring inside the base warmed faster than the team expected, and sparks cracked across the wooden frame. A thin line of smoke rose through the gaps and created panic on the set. The crew rushed forward, pulled the cables apart, and threw blankets and sand around the base to stop the heat from spreading. The tension stayed in the room, and the team understood that the machine they built carried more risk than any of them expected. And that sudden fear opened the door to the next strange moment. Fact 2. A stunt performer got stuck inside a Morlock suit. When the underground scenes were tested, a stunt performer stepped into the full Morlock suit for the first time. As soon as the neck ring snapped shut, it locked itself in place. The foam pressed against his face, and each breath became harder. Makeup artists hurried in, pushed scissors through the foam, and cut around the jammed ring to free him. The moment created a wave of concern across the set, because the suit looked soft on camera but felt tight and unforgiving in real life. That experience pushed the team to rethink the creatures in a new way. Fact 3. The machine's chair was originally from a dentist's office. The main seat of the time machine did not start as a movie prop. It came from an old dental office and still had working hydraulics inside. During one close shot, the actor leaned back and the chair tilted without warning. The sudden drop startled him and interrupted the scene. The crew examined the base and found the hidden mechanism still active. They welded the chair in place so it would remain steady for every take, and so the actor could focus on the moment without expecting a sudden shift. And once the chair stopped moving, something else on the set began to shake. Fact 4. The time travel wind blast bent real studio lights. To show the world rushing past the traveler, the team used powerful fans that pushed heavy air pressure across the set. When the fans reached full strength, the force bent 2 light stands and shook a camera tripod. Cameramen had to grip the tripods with both hands to keep the frame steady. The pressure swept across the walls and created a real vibration during the scene. The director liked the natural tremble because it made the moment feel intense and full of motion. And as the cameras steadied again, the tunnel scenes revealed a new challenge. Fact 5. The Morlock tunnels were built with real rusted metal. Instead of soft studio materials, the designers brought in rusted scrap metal from a junkyard. The metal had rough edges, dents, and long scratches that looked perfect for the Morlock world. When actors brushed their hands against the walls, some felt small cuts from the sharp pieces. The smell of rust and dust filled the tunnels and lingered in the air. The crew sprayed disinfectant between takes so the actors could breathe more easily. And just above those dark tunnels, the future sky had its own strange creation. Fact 6. The future sky was made with melted plastic. To create the glowing sky of the Aloy world, the team heated colored plastic sheets under strong lamps. The heat softened the plastic and formed flowing patterns that moved like gentle waves in the air. The effect looked calm on screen, but the smell from the melting sheets spread across the studio. Several crew members felt dizzy and had to step out for fresh air. Production paused until the fumes cleared, and the team adjusted the lamps to warm the plastic without burning it. And while the sky looked peaceful, the time traveler faced a difficult challenge during his scenes. Fact 7. Rod Taylor was told not to blink in long time travel shots. The director wanted the time traveler to look frozen between moments, so Rod Taylor was asked to hold his eyes open for long stretches. The lights around him flickered, and the chair stayed perfectly still while he tried to keep his gaze steady. His eyes began to water until tears rolled down his face. The crew used glycerin drops when his eyes grew too irritated. His stillness added a haunting quality to the time travel moment because his face stayed locked while the world shifted around him. And while the actor stayed still, the ground under the set started to move. Fact 8. A tiny earthquake hit during a filming day. During one afternoon shoot, a mild local earthquake passed through the area. The walls shuddered and the props on shelves rattled as the tremor moved under the floor. The team paused and waited as the movement faded. No one was harmed, but several props slid across the set and crashed against nearby stands. The director later used the memory of that brief shake as inspiration for the natural movement he wanted in some shots. And with each strange moment, the film gained another layer of real tension. Fact 9. The machine's control panel used real radioactive paint. Some of the glowing parts on the control panel were coated with an old luminous paint formula that studios used long before safety rules became strict. The team loved the soft green shine because it looked perfect on camera. Weeks later, a technician checked the paint and found that it carried tiny radioactive traces. The discovery surprised everyone and pushed the team to switch to safer bulbs. The glow stayed in the final shot, and the story of the paint became one of the strangest behind-the-scenes secrets. And soon after that, the heat on another set created a new challenge. Fact 10. A crew member fainted in the Eloy Garden set. The Eloy Garden was shot outdoors under a wide reflective cloth that trapped sunlight and pushed the temperature far higher than expected. A lighting assistant climbed a ladder to adjust the mirrors, and the heat pressed around him like a wall. As he reached for the top fixture, he fainted and the crew caught him before he fell. The moment shook the team and forced them to shift the schedule to cooler hours. The garden looked bright and peaceful on screen, but the crew never forgot the pressure of that trapped heat. And when they moved indoors again, a new sound test pushed things even further. Fact 11. The Morlock screams came from a pig attack recording. The sound designer visited a livestock yard during feeding time and recorded pigs fighting over troughs. The sharp cries and rough grunts echoed through the metal pens. When he slowed the recording and lowered its pitch, the result sounded nothing like an animal or a person. The crew disliked listening to it because it carried a raw edge even before any editing. The sound shaped the Morlocks into something wild and uneasy, and while the audio created fear, the future library created its own chaos. Fact 12. The future library props were made of wet plaster. The props in the library scene were built from plaster that needed time to dry. The heat from the lamps dried some parts too fast, so cracks formed across the surface. Small bits of dust fell on the actors whenever the cameras rolled. During one take, a shelf collapsed under its own weight. The director decided to keep the broken pieces in the background because they looked strangely futuristic. The rough texture added a new layer to the world without any digital tricks. And the next strange accident appeared in a scene that depended on mirrors. Fact 13. A mirror trick almost injured a cameraman. A rotating mirror was used to create a swirling reflection around the time machine. The mirror spun smoothly for the first few takes, but during one rotation it slipped from its stand. The glass sheet sliced through the air near the camera and missed the cameraman by inches. He stepped back just in time, and the crew tightened every clamp before trying again. The swirling effect looked soft on film, yet it came from a moment that nearly ended in disaster. And after the mirror scare, the team focused again on the strange heart of the machine. Fact 14. The time machine sound was recorded in a metal storage tank. To create the rising hum of time travel, the team went inside a hollow metal storage tank. When they struck the walls and dragged tools across the floor, the echo spread through the chamber like distant machinery. They layered the sound with a soft roll of thunder until it felt ancient and heavy. The result became one of the most memorable parts of the time travel scenes. The echo created a mood that matched the glowing machine. And while the sound carried mystery, one performer faced a different kind of danger. Fact 15. A Morlock actor walked into a wall because he could not see. The Morlock mask covered most of the performer's face, and the narrow eye slits left very little vision. During one rehearsal, he took a step forward and walked face first into a rock prop. The stumble looked wild and animal-like, so the director watched the playback and kept the moment because it added roughness to the scene. The mask created both the look and the movement of the creature, and the final strange moment arrived when the machine vanished in a cloud of smoke. Fact 16. The machine's final scene used real smoke that filled the set. The crew pumped heavy stage smoke into the room to create the disappearing effect of the time machine. The smoke rose quickly and drifted across the walls until the air turned thick and gray. The studio alarms almost triggered because the haze reached the upper lights. Actors stepped off set, coughing while fans cleared the room. The disappearing shot became one of the film's most iconic moments, shaped by real smoke and real tension. And with this final strange detail, the world of the time machine gained its last piece of hidden history. If you enjoyed uncovering these wild secrets, hit subscribe and step into the next hidden story waiting just ahead.